Hulk Hogan's legacy. They're now talking about it. As a big-time Hulkamaniac, I was kind of dreading this day. Basically, when they talk about Hulk Hogan's legacy, all they should be talking about is Rocky III, Hogan basically inventing WrestleMania, building the WWF so it could go international, the changing the wrestling world with the NWO, and becoming the biggest draw in the history of pro wrestling. That should be his legacy. When people now talk about Hulk Hogan's legacy, all they do is they go, find me a black guy and let him talk about Hulk Hogan. I don't think that's Hulk's legacy. I think that's a snafu. I think that's a mistake that the Hulk made. And he has to, and certainly, I was going to say he has to live with that, but he doesn't anymore. That's part of the tapestry of Hulk Hogan. But at the same time, I don't think that should be his legacy. He said some fucked up shit when he didn't know he was being recorded. I don't think you should be able to comment on Hulk Hogan and the comments he made unless you are okay with being recorded without your knowledge in your most private moments saying the most fucked up shit you've ever said. Because otherwise, it just feels really phony to me to have all these people go, oh, Hulk's terrible. Oh, Hulk's a bad guy. Oh, can you believe how bad Hulk Hogan is? And meanwhile, you know that you've said shit just as fucked up as he has. Nobody was recording you. So this is TMZ's documentary on Hulk and what his legacy is.
You can't talk about somebody's...
Wow, Vince. It's amazing to see Vince McMahon after like everything now, like that lawsuit and everything that's come out because of it and the text messages that lady put out there. And now there's Vince. And all I can think of is this guy wants people to shit on his secretary's chest. Like that. I don't think of like, Austin, you're fired. I don't think of like Triple H, you're in the kiss my ass club. Like that's not who I think of now. Now all I think of is, he'll come over, let John Laurinaitis shit on your chest. And how does Brock Lesnar get to come back, by the way? Wasn't Brock Lesnar named in that lawsuit as one of the guys Vince wanted to have shit on this girl's chest? Maybe Brock didn't know. Maybe Vince was just pitching it to the woman like, I'm going to feed you to Brock Lesnar. And he's going to fucking give her. But maybe Brock never did it. That might have just been a Vince thing. So they're going to have Vince talk about Hulk Hogan. And I will say this about Vince, man. He's impressive on this account. Vince is loyal to his guys. Vince could be bitter. Vince could be shitty towards WWE and pro wrestling in general. He's very loyal.
Life by just looking at it in a one-dimensional way. And he was an amazingly successful guy, but there were conflicts. The sex tape talking about not wanting to have his daughter date black men.
Okay, what else though? I mean that. I know that sounds like I'm trivializing his racism or whatever, but what else? Like, do you have to be fucking perfect all the time? One thing, a sex tape where he talked about he didn't want his daughter dating black people, which, by the way, unfortunately, many parts of the world and many parts of the country, there's a lot of old dads that talk that way. That's not a rare thing. I mean, and it's not a white person thing either. Jewish people, black people, all Asian people. There's all walks of life that when they marry another race, there are members of their family that are like, ooh, God, I wish they wouldn't do that. I don't know how okay I am with that. So, to sit here and go, Hulk, he drew you all this money and he basically invented modern wrestling and is the only reason that it's so popular today. There'd be no Stone Cold and The Rock. There'd be no John Cena. There'd be no Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, if not for Hulk Hogan first. And they're like, yeah, but he said the N-word on a sex tape one time. Then you know what? He's doing pretty fucking good because I don't think there's a lot of other Hulk Hogan scandals out there. I mean, you can't count the Nick Hogan car accident thing. Hulk didn't do that. And I know I'm coming off as like a rabid Hulkamaniac right now. Like, oh, you're just defending your boy. Yeah, I am, because I think it's fucking bullshit That a guy says one thing when he doesn't know he's being filmed, and now we're going to somehow negate everything else he ever did? Bullshit.
And he had made some racist comments on a call to Nick in jail.
It was unforgivable. When those things occurred, that's not like him. What in God's name is going on?
On the sex tape, he actually said he was racist.
He said in his words that he was a racist. So why would I sit here and try to defend somebody that tells you who they were?
How did it affect you personally?
It fucking didn't. Unless Mark Henry was trying to fuck Brooke Hogan. And then, you know what? Then in that case, I can see why Sexual Chocolate would be mad about this. But for him to go, Hulk Hogan's racist. Dude, you played on every fucking black stereotype there was when you were a pro wrestler. You were in the fucking Nation of Islam mimic group. You called yourself Sexual Chocolate. You had a baby with an elderly woman that turned out to be a hand. Like, come on.
I mean, you knew
Oh,
him.
it hurt. It hurt.
I did a show with him in 2017, and he insisted, he said he was not a racist.
I'm not that guy. I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror every day. I have to be accountable. I have to be able to live with myself. It really slapped me and woke me up, and it made me realize how powerful words are. For the people that know me and love me, they know who I am. You know, they know I'm not a racist.
I don't. Is it okay for us to say I don't fucking know Hulk Hogan personally? I don't know if he's a racist, and it's none of my fucking business. Is that okay? I'm tired of this idea that because someone's famous, we have to know everything about them. I don't give a shit. Hulk Hogan was a professional wrestler who helped mold my childhood. He was a hero to little kids who watched him wrestle. That's it. And then when I was 9, he fucking stomped on my heart and joined the NWO. Oh, am I a racist? I know what's in my heart. Hulk, no offense, dude. I don't give a shit what's in your heart. I don't care. Entertain me, dance monkey. I probably shouldn't say monkey in this context, but you understand.
A couple months before he died, he had his final entrance into the ring, and he was booed.
Yeah, that was shitty.
I think that hurt him immensely that night because that was his base. Those were his fans. That was his home. I'm sure it hurt him to the core.
That really, fuck the WWE universe for booing Hulk Hogan. Ric Flair has been a piece of shit to every woman he's ever been with. And if the Nature Boy came out, they'd cheer his fucking ass off.
It really did.
I don't think it's ever fair to judge anybody on their worst moment. Now, of course, the words he used were extremely harsh, were definitely racist. I don't think that's indicative of who he was.
Right. People who know him, they're like, that's not who he was. He was, first of all, he had just blown a load. You get certain leeways in that regard. Second of all, he was going through probably the lowest moment of his entire fucking life.
And when I measure the good that Hulk did against the hurt that he caused with that type of language, he still made a huge impact on so many lives. So I'm the guy that's saying, I'm going to go with the joy he brought, superseding the pain that he caused.
He made Mark Henry feel uncomfortable one time with the way he spoke on a video. He visited a metric fuck ton of kids who were dying in the hospital on his days off from a grueling wrestling schedule. Yeah, I'd say the good outweighs the bad. And I bet you some of those kids were black. Posterior attention with $4.99 says, in memory of Johnny, Johnny is fine. Johnny is not dead. Mudbutt Beardo, one of my favorite guys. I love old Mudbutt. With $9.99 says, if Tyson can be forgiven, then there should be no issue with Hulk Hogan. I could not agree more. I could not agree more with that sentiment. I think Corey Adam nailed it. Corey Adam always said on this show, he said, Mike Tyson is the most forgiven rapist in the history of the world. 100% accurate. He's the most forgiven rapist of all time. But Hulk Hogan said the N-word once. Holy shit. Doorman with $15 says, do we just send you a message of what we want if we are an existing VIP? Yes, send me an email, send me a DM on social media. Tell me what you want and I can get it for you. We can make it on the Streamlabs store. So, just do that and we can take care of that, buddy. I've already gotten a few DMs today. I'm going to get, as soon as I get something from Rabbi Smoothie, I'm going to send his stuff out to him. The rest of you, Friday's my big order day. So we'll do it then. We'll do it live. Fuck it. All right, let's make sure that I'm getting all of these donations in. There we go. $10 from Rabbi Smoothie. He says, Shalom Aleichem to the lady, the doctor, and the duck. Thank you very much. $5 away from today's goal. Thank you very, very much. Let's update with that $10. Rabbi Smoothie is now at $2.92. Holy Jesus Christ. Rabbi Smoothie went off today. Sanford Son with $35. Jesus Christ, monkey balls.
The gold sucker, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Rabbi Sanford Son with $35 says, give this to Rabbi, one of the good ones, Smoothie. He'll be smarter with the money. We've knocked out today's goal, guys. It's fucking over.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
In fact, we're $25 over today's goal. But at 35, I'm trying to figure this out. 327. Rabbi Smoothie is at $327. Do you think we can get him to $500? If everybody donates money, can we get his total to 500? Now, obviously, anything you guys throw in is going towards tomorrow's goal. But I want to see if we can get old Rabbi Smoothie up to 500. That would be really cool. Thank you guys very much. You're $25 into tomorrow's goal. It's over. We did it. It's another win for the toe. Last week we kept talking about how it's been a difficult week. We've hit all our goals, but we really struggled. I got to say, this week, knock on wood, has been, you guys have been easy like Sunday morning, brother. Thank you very much. But we will see. We will see. Guys, you have triggered the shit out of All You Can Eat Negro. He goes, this is retarded. Why? Guys, stop donating money to Rabbi Smoothie. It's driving All You Can Eat Negro and Frenchie or whatever their name is. It's driving them fucking bananas. Dead Game isn't liking it. He's saying chargebacks are coming. They can't handle when the toe is killing it. It breaks their brains and they have to try and meld reality. And I love it too much. I bore my audience with how much I love it, and I apologize. But let's see how high up there we can get old Rabbi Smoothie as we move on with today's show. The Hulk Hogan thing, it's just like, I think it makes people feel good to yell and scream at others when they fuck up, especially if it's in a way they've fucked up before. So, like, when you have an instance where a guy fucks up and says something as fucking crazy as Hulk Hogan does, you want to attack because you don't ever want anyone looking into the shit you've said in private that could screw you over. So if you look noble and you go, oh, look, I'm standing up for all the black people, they'll go, oh, he's one of the good ones. Leave him alone. By the way, there is a debate going on in the chat, and I would love to join in on this debate. About whether or not Mike Tyson was guilty of the graping, because we're on fucking YouTube, of Desiree Washington. And Roots, it was Desiree Washington, not Robin Givens. Robin Givens was the woman he was married to and was divorced from. And then he had sex with a beauty queen named Desiree Washington. And she accused him of, the grape, if you will. There have been a lot of people who have said that Mike Tyson's innocent and that Don King fucked over Mike Tyson because Don King owed Mike a shitload of money And if Mike went to prison, it would be easy for Don King to steal a fuckload of money from Mike Tyson. Now, while Mike was in prison, Don King did steal a shitload of money from Mike Tyson. In fact, Mike sued him for like $100 million. But that doesn't mean that Mike's innocent. Just because there is an alternative theory doesn't mean he didn't do it. Adrian Washington knew a guy. Now, this is like fourth-hand information I'm getting. Thank you, all you can eat Negro. 40 million. I apologize. So Adrian knew a guy who was in Japan when this happened, or Chicago, wherever the fuck it happened. And he said he walked into Mike's hotel room after the Desiree Washington stuff. And Mike, he said there was so much blood on the bed that it looked like a murder, which is typically not indicative of consensual sex. That usually means that something forceful happened, or, you know, even if he tore like her butthole or something, it still wouldn't make that much blood. So he does believe that Mike took without asking, or Mike took without consent, Desiree Washington. Now, a lot of people believe that he didn't do it. That is by the way, Roots Calhoun, that's a weird time to write all praise be to Allah in the chat. That fucked me up for a second. But Mike Tyson's attorney, and you can do with this what you will, whether or not Mike was guilty or innocent, he didn't get the defense he should have. Don King got Mike Tyson, his tax attorney, to defend him in criminal court. So I think two things can be true at once. I think Mike Tyson can be guilty of what happened to Desiree Washington. I also believe that Don King wanted Mike Tyson to go to prison for a couple of years so he could steal a shitload of money from him and then make even more when he got out and made his comeback. And it did all work out that way. Why else would Don King give Mike Tyson a fucking tax attorney to defend him from a rape charge? Why? There's no reason to do that. If you want the guy to keep fighting and making you money, you give him a great defense, you create reasonable doubt, and you win the case. I think Mike was probably guilty, but I think it was a he said, she said, and I think Mike probably could have gotten acquitted. But Don King didn't want him acquitted. Don wanted him to go to jail so he could steal a shitload of cash. Because he did. But I also agree that Mike Tyson, if he can be forgiven for what he did, fuck that. We can all, forget about what, Hulk Hogan said on a tape. In one man's opinion. 09 Canyon says that's BS. Couldn't he have gotten a new trial for ineffectual counsel? No, I mean, the guy that represented him was an attorney. I mean, he did have counsel. It's just this was not his area of expertise. And usually if you have a wealthy guy, like if Don King had a fighter that was making him shitloads of money, it would behoove Don King to spend every dollar he could to make sure that guy stays out of prison. Don gave like no fucking effort to keep Mike out of jail. Makes you wonder.